All right, so today we're diving into AI,
Mm-hmm.
specifically ChatGPT versus Google.
Yeah.
We've gotten a ton of articles and research comparing these two,
Right.
and I'm really curious to kind of unpack this with you
Okay.
and figure out not just what each one does well, but how their approaches to
Yeah.
information are fundamentally different?
Well, I think what's really fascinating here
Yeah.
is that it sort of reveals a shift in our relationship
Uh-huh.
with information, right?
Right.
So Google, with its massive index
Yeah.
and these crazy complex algorithms that we don't even
Yeah.
understand,
Right.
has trained us to kind of sift through links
Yeah.
and evaluate sources ourselves, right?
Yeah.
Be skeptical.
Right. Yeah.
Whereas ChatGPT kind of flips the script on that.
Okay.
And it aims to synthesize and deliver a single, comprehensive answer.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
So it's almost like going from a self-serve buffet where you're kind of picking and choosing to a Michelin star chef preparing a personalized meal just for you.
Right.
But how reliable is that chef?
Exactly.
We all know ChatGPT has had some issues with accuracy,
Yes.
especially with complex topics.
Right. And it's not just about factual errors.
Mm.
ChatGPT, like any large language model,
Uh-huh.
is trained on a massive data set
Yeah.
of text and code, right?
Right.
And that data reflects the biases and perspectives
Yeah.
that are already out there
Okay.
in the real world.
Yeah.
So those can inadvertently
Yes.
seep into ChatGPT's responses.
So it's like having this really smart friend
Yeah.
who can explain things beautifully,
Uh-huh.
but maybe also has some ingrained opinions that you
Mhm.
have to be aware of.
Exactly.
It makes you think twice about blindly trusting any single source, right?
Absolutely. And I think that's where Google's approach,
Okay.
with its emphasis on multiple perspectives
Yeah.
and diverse sources, still holds value.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though it may require more effort from the user,
Right.
it encourages a more critical and discerning approach
Right.
to consuming information.
Okay, so speaking of Google,
Yeah.
it's been interesting to see how they've responded
Yeah.
to this sudden rise of conversational AI.
Uh-huh.
They're not just sitting back, are they?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Google's
Yeah.
fighting AI-generated content
Okay.
that's designed to manipulate search rankings,
Right.
which they consider spam.
Okay.
They're also incorporating AI into their algorithms,
Mm.
aiming for a more, intuitive and personalized search experience.
Right, so it's like this chess match.
Yeah.
Each player is trying to anticipate the other's moves and stay one step ahead.
Exactly.
But there's also this interesting collaboration
Mhm.
happening, like you mentioned in your notes,
Yeah.
that ChatGPT now uses Bing to access real-time information.
That's right.
That's huge.
It is.
Because initially, ChatGPT was limited. Its knowledge cutoff was 2021. So it couldn't answer about current events, news, anything happening right now.
It couldn't, and now it can,
Now it can.
by leveraging Bing's search index.
So it's like ChatGPT hired a research assistant
Yeah.
to keep it updated on all the latest happenings.
Exactly.
But doesn't this integration with Bing blur the lines a little bit
Yeah.
between these two supposedly competing forces?
It definitely does.
Yeah.
And it raises some really interesting questions
Yeah.
about the future of search.
Uh-huh.
Could we be moving towards this hybrid model
Right.
where conversational AI and traditional search engines kind of work in tandem?
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll delve a little deeper
Sounds good.
into this evolving landscape of AI and search.
All right.
Stay with us.
We'll be right back. Yeah, it's like they're becoming frenemies.
Frenemies, like, no.
Competitors, but also
Yeah.
kind of reliant on each other.
Right. And speaking of Google, they've also jumped into the conversational AI game themselves
They have.
with Bard.
Exactly. Bard is Google's answer to ChatGPT,
Right.
although it hasn't quite gained the same level of
Yeah.
widespread use yet.
Yet it makes you wonder, could Google ultimately integrate Bard
Mm-hmm.
directly into its search engine? I mean, that would be a game changer.
It would.
Imagine searching for something
Yeah.
and having a Bard-powered summary
Right.
pop up alongside the traditional list of links.
Right alongside it. That would be...
Wow.
That kind of hybrid approach
Mhm.
could really change how we interact with information online.
Yeah, makes searching more efficient.
More efficient and engaging.
especially for complex topics.
Not especially.
You mentioned in one of the articles that Google is actively working
Yes.
to integrate AI into other services too, like Google Assistant.
That's right.
I can definitely see the appeal of having an even more intelligent and conversational virtual assistant.
Absolutely. Imagine asking your Google Assistant a question like, what are the key arguments for and against universal basic income?
Okay.
And it could provide a nuanced,
Wow.
well-structured summary,
Yeah.
drawing on information from diverse and reputable sources.
That would be incredible. It's like having a personal debate coach.
It is.
Right in your pocket.
Like they're with you.
But with all this talk about AI's potential, we have to be realistic. There are concerns too, right?
Of course, one of the biggest concerns revolves around the potential for these AI models to generate incorrect or misleading information.
Right.
Since they're trained on massive amounts of data, if that data contains biases or inaccuracies, those can be reflected in their output.
It's like that old saying, garbage in, garbage out.
Exactly.
We need to be aware that AI isn't a magic bullet.
It's not.
It can make mistakes, and it's our responsibility to critically evaluate the information it provides.
Absolutely. We can't blindly trust AI any more than we would blindly trust any other source of information.
Exactly.
We need to develop our critical thinking skills and be discerning consumers of information, regardless of whether it comes from a human or a machine.
So in a way, the rise of AI makes critical thinking even more crucial than ever before.
I think so.
It's not just about knowing how to use these tools, but also understanding their limitations.
Their limitations and potential biases.
Exactly.
Yeah. And another key aspect is recognizing the role of human oversight in this AI-driven world.
Right.
We need to make sure that these powerful technologies are being used ethically and responsibly.
So it's not about replacing humans entirely, but rather about finding ways for AI to augment our abilities and help us make better decisions.
Exactly. Think of it as a partnership.
Okay.
Where humans and AI work together.
I love that analogy.
Yeah.
It's not about AI versus humans, but AI and humans working together. To unlock new possibilities.
That's right. It reminds me of how the invention of the printing press revolutionized the way we consumed and shared information.
Right.
The arrival of AI feels like a similar watershed moment.
Wow.
We're still in the early stages.
Yeah.
But it's clear that AI is going to have a profound impact on how we learn, work, and interact with the world around us.
It's both exciting and a little daunting, isn't it?
It is.
We're on the cusp of a new era.
We are.
And it's up to us to shape how AI is used and integrated into our lives.
I agree. One thing is for sure, it's going to be a fascinating journey.
Speaking of the journey, where does this deep dive leave us in terms of understanding the current state of ChatGPT versus Google?
Well, I think the main takeaway is that this isn't really a versus situation anymore.
Okay.
You know, we're moving beyond a simple comparison of two separate tools. The lines are blurring.
Yeah.
And we're seeing signs of convergence and collaboration.
That's true. It's less about picking a winner and more about recognizing the strengths and weaknesses of each approach and how they might complement each other in the future.
Exactly. ChatGPT with its conversational interface.
Yeah.
And ability to synthesize information offers a glimpse into the future of personalized information retrieval.
Right.
But it also has limitations, especially when it comes to accuracy and bias.
Meanwhile, Google, with its massive index, diverse sources, and real-time information access, remains a vital tool for research and discovery.
It does.
And they're not standing still. Google is actively adapting and incorporating AI into its own services to stay ahead of the curve.
Absolutely. So rather than viewing ChatGPT and Google as rivals, locked in a battle for dominance, we should perhaps see them as collaborators, each pushing the boundaries of what's possible and shaping the future of how we interact with information.
And that future is looking increasingly complex.
It is.
And interconnected.
Very much so.
It really feels like we're at a turning point, you know?
I think so.
Like we're on the verge of something big.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The way I see it, we're moving towards this era of ambient information.
Ambient information.
Yeah, it's not just about like searching for information anymore. It's about having information seamlessly integrated into our lives. Readily available whenever and wherever we need it.
That's a fascinating concept. It's like information becomes less of a destination and more of a constant companion.
Precisely. Imagine a world where your smart devices anticipate your needs
Okay.
and provide relevant information proactively using a combination of AI-powered search
Okay.
and personalized insights.
So instead of having to actively search for something,
Yeah.
the information finds us.
The information finds you.
It sounds almost like science fiction.
It might sound futuristic,
Yeah.
but we're already seeing glimpses of it.
Okay.
Think about how music streaming services suggest songs based on your listening history, or how navigation apps alert you to traffic conditions on your usual route.
Right.
These are early examples of ambient information.
Okay.
And AI is going to play a key role in making it even more sophisticated and personalized.
It makes you wonder what the implications will be for things like education and learning. Could AI tutors become commonplace?
That's a good question.
You know, providing personalized instruction tailored to each student's needs.
It's certainly a possibility.
Yeah.
And it raises some interesting questions
Right.
about the role of traditional educational institutions in this new landscape.
And what about the workplace?
Yeah.
Could AI assistants handle routine tasks, freeing up human workers to focus on more creative and strategic endeavors?
That's already happening.
Wow.
In many industries.
Really?
AI is being used to automate data analysis, customer service interactions, even content creation.
It's both exciting and a little bit unsettling, isn't it?
It is a little bit of both.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what skills will be most valuable in this AI-driven world.
Adaptability.
Yeah.
Creativity.
Okay.
Critical thinking. Complex problem solving.
So those are the skills that will set humans apart.
I think so.
In the age of AI.
Yeah.
It sounds like the ability to learn and evolve alongside technology will be more crucial than ever before.
I agree. Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's not just about technical skills. It's also about developing a mindset of lifelong learning.
Yes.
And a willingness to embrace change.
Exactly.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into ChatGPT versus Google, what's the key takeaway for our listeners today?
I think the biggest takeaway is that this comparison goes far beyond these two specific AI tools.
Right.
It's about recognizing the transformative power of artificial intelligence and how it's reshaping our relationship with information and with the world around us.
It's not just about choosing between ChatGPT or Google. It's about understanding the larger forces at play.
The larger trends.
And being prepared to adapt and thrive in this rapidly evolving landscape.
Absolutely.
Well said.
Thank you.
And on that note, we'll leave you with this final thought to ponder.
Okay.
As AI continues to advance, what role will you play in shaping its future?